Ayo, what's good, reader fam? Welcome to episode 5 of Bookstorm, the series on my channel where I guide you through a bookish storm. This is the last episode of Bookstorm. This year, we're bringing it back in 2020, baby, and I'm hoping to up the game a bit, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's dive on into the episode and kick it off with our reader oath. On today's episode of Bookstorm, Jesse promises to feed you entertaining book content until you're full and you feel the need to wash it down with a good book. Signed, Jesse the Reader. Now it's time for the book quote fortune of the week. Let's enrich our lives with an author's words. Fill up our noggins with some wisdom. Get teary-eyed at the beautiful words. Let's go. Boy, oh boy, we've got a long one this time around. It says, never give up on your dreams and never let anyone tell you that what you love is inconsequential or useless or a waste of time. Because if you love it, if that OTP or children's card game or a bridge series or YA book or animated series makes you happy, that is never a waste of time. Because in the end, we're all just a bunch of weirdos. Amen. Preach it. This quote is by Ashley Poston and it's from Geekarella. And it's such a good reminder. I feel like this is something that I preach a lot in my videos, but it's because I want people to not forget it. I feel like people get embarrassed or judge other people for liking certain things. And I just want it to stop. So if I can help it stop a little bit, then I will do just that. It's 2019 and there are still people policing other people saying that they can't enjoy certain things. But newsflash, I can enjoy whatever I want to enjoy. I'm not going to sit here and let your rainstorm of negativity keep me from loving what I love. I'm gonna pull out my umbrella and block you. I'm gonna block your negative raindrops. Bye, sucker. I feel like oftentimes we hold ourselves back from enjoying certain things because we're afraid we're gonna be judged by certain people. But take that mentality and chuck it down the garbage disposal and grind it up. Because that's just such a crap way of thinking. Like, love what you love and don't let anyone come through and try to extinguish that fire inside of you that's passionate for whatever you're passionate about. And if you're someone who puts on your judgy pants and judges other people for liking certain things, you need to donate those pants and get yourself a new pair ASAP. Even if you can't wrap your mind around why someone likes a certain thing, it doesn't mean they can't like it. And you're not doing anything productive by being a douche, so scoot your boot. I think the tea has spilleth over today, so get your mop and wipe it up. Next up, I've got recent book pickups, sponsored by Bloomsbury and Source Books. First up here, I have the Bookspolosion book of the month for the month of December, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I always want to say A Curse So Dark and Lovely, but that's not it. It's A Curse So Dark and Lonely. We're not lovely today, we're lonely. It's not a lovely curse, it's a curse that's dark and lonely. Don't get it twisted, guys. This book is a bit of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, aka Booty and the Beat, what I used to call it back in the day. Fun fact, I was in a Beauty and the Beast production sophomore year of high school. Those were dark times though. We don't talk about those times. This story follows two different perspectives. First up, we've got our perspective of Ren. He ends up turning into this vicious beast and basically just destroying everything he knows and loves. From his kingdom to his own family. Again, guys, this is not no happy-go-lucky, lovely curse. No, this is a curse so dark and lonely. Like, boy is getting a dark curse and a lonely curse. The second perspective that we follow is Harper. Harper is a character who has just faced a life full of struggles. She's got her brother who is constantly at her back, undermining her. Talk about a terrible brother, we're gonna go ahead and cancel him, but who knows, maybe he'll make a full circle in the book, and in that case, we stand. On top of that though, her father passed away and he left them with a bunch of debt. Not only that though, things are much worse as Harper's mother has cancer. Like, what more can we put Harper through? Like, let's just send her through the mud. Let's just drag her through the mud. She just can't catch a break. And you'd think that it ends there, but no. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. We all know how it goes. Basically, Harper ends up following the stranger who is doing some like sketchy things with this girl, and the next thing she knows, this stranger has transported her into this like fantastical world. This is why you don't mess with strangers. They either try to kidnap you or they take you to this magical world that you can't get out of. So Harper ends up alongside Ren and together they try to break down this curse. I'm excited for this book for multiple reasons. One, it just sounds excelente, and to me that's reason enough to pick it up. Two, I just want to read it because all the cool kids are reading it and I want to be a cool kid. People have been loving this book and I want to be on that team. I want to be on team love for this book. I want to throw this book at a goal and hear the swoosh of greatness and then run after it and catch it before it hits the ground because I don't want no book damage. Anyway, I want this book to feel the way that a slam dunk feels. Not that I know what a slam dunk feels like, but I imagine it feels great. The third reason that I want to read this book right now is because of the fact that the sequel, A Heart So Fierce and Broken, comes out in January January 7th to be exact, so I want to read this book to be prepared for that book. That way, if I end up loving this book, I'll be able to snatch this one right up and read it ASAP and not just have it sit on my bookshelf for ages. Because I've been known to do that, but I'm trying to cut that curse. Like I said, this is the Bookspolosion Book of the Month for the month of December, and our live show is actually going to be on this Friday, December 20th, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Bookspolosion channel, so I will leave a link to that down below in the description. It's also the end of the year live show, so the first 30 minutes of the live show are going to be spoilery, and then we're going to be going into our favorites of the year, so it's going to be a good old time. You should join us. That'd be great. I'd love that. Yeah. Next up here, I've got our January book of the month, and that is Reverie. Is there an Adele song that's called Reverie? Because in my mind, I'm thinking that that's an Adele song. Reverie. Is that an Adele song? I need to look this up. Nope, it's not an Adele song, but I think I was mixing it up with either Remedy or River Lee, because those both sound like Reverie, right? Am I right? Am I alone here? I'm probably alone here. That's okay. A curse so dark and lonely, am I right? This book is about this dude named Kane who wakes up in a river and he's half dead. He doesn't remember anything about the situation or how he got there and how he ended up half dead, but things seem pretty different now, which I feel like that would be kind of like an obvious thing. Like if you wake up half dead in a river, I think your life's gonna be a bit different. But it's quite different in the fact that ever since he's woken up, reality has kind of shifted a bit. 3 people he's never met before claim to be his best friends, but he just kind of goes along with it. And the next thing he knows, everywhere he goes with them begins to materialize into different places. Like they think they're going to the gym, and the next thing they know, they're being dragged into this subterranean temple. Like, yo bro, I'm trying to get swole over here. I'm not trying to go to a temple, but if you insist, have at it, I guess. Of course, that can't be the only thing to the story. We can't just be hopping into these magical worlds. There's also an evil force that comes knocking on the door. And this evil force is threatening to alter reality forever. So our squad has to figure out a way to prevent him from doing this. Good luck with that. And they've got to figure out a way to protect the world as they know it. It sounds like this book is going to end up being really trippy. And if that's the case, then I am here for it. Let's trip it up. I love a good urban fantasy story, and this one feels like it's got that vibe to it. And this one just sounds like it's going to be a good time. Like I feel like it's going to be one where you're just surprised every moment because you never know what's going to happen. Like the characters could walk into a grocery store and the next thing you know, they're at Disneyland. Though I have a feeling we're not going to end up in Disneyland in this book, but just throwing it out there. It could be a possibility. We don't know yet. At least I don't know yet because I haven't read the book yet. Like I said though, this is our book of the month for the month of January, so if it sounds interesting to you, then be sure to pick it up and join us for the month of January. Next up, we've got Bookish topic breakdown. I went over on my Instagram at jessethereader if you want to follow me. I'm trying to step up my Bookstagram game, so you should follow me. Please encourage me. Give me all the positive vibes. Anyway, I went over on my Instagram, asked you guys to submit some bookish topics for me to discuss, and I'm going to be drawing one today and discussing it. Let's break it down now. The topic I'm choosing today is going to be this one. Oh, holy crap, that was a party of topics. Yeah, we're just gonna put those back in there and act like that didn't happen. It didn't happen. This one reads, what criteria do you use when recommending books? Oh boy. That's a good question that I don't even know if I can answer. I'm not gonna put that back in there. I feel like I'm about to turn into a professor and teach a course on recommending books, which don't mind if I do. I'm about to go off, so get your notebooks out, get those pens ready, and write down every word. Yeah, I'm not really about to go off. Hold off on that. Catch me out here recommending books I love regardless of what they're into. Somebody comes up to me and they're like, I like horse books. And I'm like, great. A Monster Calls is your gal. You gotta check it out. Horses galore. Just pretend the monster is a horse, okay? No, realistically, the way that I go about recommending books is that I ask the person a few questions. I ask them A, what genre do you like? And B, what kind of books do you like? I take those two elements and I just kind of try to tie them together and come up with some kind of glorious book that I can recommend it. Does that answer your question? I really hope that helps. That's the way that I go about it. I don't really know another way to go about it. I either recommend a book I love despite what they're interested in, or I take some things that they're interested in and try to figure out a book that I love that has similar elements to things that they love. I hope that helps. That's the best I can do. Next segment. Next up, we've got ranking book series covers. This is a segment that I've been trying to do for a long time, but every time I sit down to film, I forget to film it. So I'm doing it today. It's happening. I went over on my Instagram, asked you guys to submit random book series. I picked those series and put them in here. I'm going to be drawing one at random, and then I must rank the book covers from favorite to least favorite. Dun 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 dun. Let's do this. Which book series will I draw? Percy Jackson and the Olympians. My throat is going, so that does not sound as epic as it normally would. Not that it ever normally sounds epic when I do a fake echo. It seems epic in my head, okay? That's all that matters. It's time to get ranking. First up on my list, my least favorite is the first book, The Lightning Thief. Honestly, this book cover has a lot of great things going for it. Like, in terms of curiosity, I am curious when I look at this book cover. Like, if I had not known anything about this story and I were to look at this book cover, I'd want to pick it up and read it, because like, why the heck is this kid standing in a body of water holding a sword looking at a city? Like, I have many questions. Many questions have been raised. Though I do look at this cover and I'm like, dang, that's dangerous. You're in water and it's lightning. Like, boy, get out the water. Get out of there. Reason I feel like this is my least favorite though is because of the fact that I've just seen this cover too much. I'm tired of seeing it. Stay down. I don't want to see you anymore. Actually, I do want to see you. I don't hate you that much, okay? I promise. I'm talking to this book cover as if it has feelings. When I think of the Percy Jackson book covers, this is the first one that my mind goes to. So I'm just kind of tired of seeing it. Also, this like yellowy blue green color, I'm just not about it. I don't like it. Would not buy a shirt with this color. Next on my ranking, we have The Sea of Monsters. This is a really striking cover and it's just got a lot going on. So it definitely hits that curiosity level. Like, what's up with this big eyeball? Why are these kids running on this bridge? What's with the ship? Are they running over lava? Because it's kind of orangey and that makes me think lava. But I think for me personally, that's why this lands on the 4th ranking, is because there's too much going on. My mind can't focus. I can't even read the title without being like, whoa, this cover, there's just a lot happening. Like, whoa. I don't really have any other reasons except for that. This is why I'm not a cover analyst, because I'm not good at critiquing book covers. Coming in at number 3, we have The Battle of the Labyrinth. What's better than being in the last positions? It's being in the middle. The aspects of this book that I really like, I like the labyrinth maze situation we've got going here. I like the sword. I'm all about that sword. About that sword. No stabbing. What? And I like the red. But on a critical level, the red could mean angry. Anger! And that might be a turnoff for people going to pick up this book. Wow, I'm really trying to be critical over here and I'm failing. But yeah, it just didn't like reach that epicness for me as much as I love it. Coming in at my 4th slot, we have The Titan's Curse. Now there's a big reason as to why I love this cover, and it's a bit biased. It's not a bit biased, it's a whole lot biased, and that's the fact that it's blue. I love the color blue. I am a sucker for the color blue. I was born loving blue. The thing that takes it to a whole nother level is the wings on the Pegasus. Put wings on a cover and it just makes the cover fly. Makes it fly into your heart. And you can't stop thinking about it. And you want to pick up that book because of the wings. It's scientifically proven. I'm the scientist that proved it. Take that with a grain of salt. And the winner that comes in at the top ranking is The Last Olympian. So, as I said for the previous one, we've got a Pegasus and we've got those wings. Not only that though, we've got a freaking sword. And the thing that takes this book cover to a whole nother level is the fact that the Pegasus is just like flying. Like this one right here, he's looking at a foggy city, taking in those views, but this Pegasus right here is in full on action mode and he is just like off to battle, and that's what sends it to that epic level. So those are my rankings. 1st place, 2nd place, 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite cover is. I'm curious. Actually, let me know your rankings. Let me know your rankings from least favorite to favorite. Also, we'll see if I bring back this segment ever again, because I feel like I just said nothing. On to the next segment. The last segment today is Save One, Drop One. This is actually a game that I took from the K-pop YouTube community, where you basically draw 2 names and you have to save one or drop one. Simple as that. Also, speaking of K-pop, Stan Red Velvet. I gathered up a bunch of random fictional characters and chucked them into this jar, and basically, we're just gonna see who I save by the end of the game. Now, I try not to compare fictional characters because it's really not fair. They're all on their own journeys, but you know, the truth is that there are some fictional characters that are just better than other fictional characters. It's just how it is. So with that being said, let's get started. First up, we've got Frank Lee, who is from Frankly in Love. Frank is a character who has to live up to unrealistic expectations that his parents put on him. He's always wanting to make the people around him happy, and he's just working on finding his footing. Frank Lee is going to go up against Violet Baudelaire. Violet is from the A Series of Unfortunate Events series. She's queen of inventing things, and she's an overall great leader and a good older sister. This is a tough one because I love both of these characters so much. Like, I see so much of myself in Frank Lee, and I also just really love the character of Violet, like I grew up with that character. But even though I see so many qualities of myself in Frank, I also just don't have the heart to drop Violet Baudelaire because of the fact that she's basically spent a life being dropped off by people. And I want to save her just this once. So I'm going to save her and I'm going to drop Frank Lee. I'm sorry, Frank. We've got Nikolai from the Grishaverse. Nikolai has great leadership qualities. He's strong-willed and he's a charming person. This is hard. I love Nikolai because he's a straight-up boss. But do I think he should be saved over Violet? You betcha. Bye, Violet! Honestly, I'm just trash for Leigh Bardugo characters. I cannot help myself. Do I feel bad? No! Okay, who's Nikolai up against? We've got Magnus Bane from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. He's a whimsical warlock with a sassy presence and is sure to make some sort of impression on you. You see, I love Magnus. I think he's dope. And he really delivers that humor even when you don't deliver it. He's like, order up, baby. But I don't think he beats out Nikolai, so see you later! This is kind of hurting my heart a little bit. Next, Cinder from the Lunar Chronicles. She's a cyborg mechanic. She takes a lot of risks and she's got a strong mentality. We stand. I love Cinder a lot. Like, just thinking about the Lunar Chronicles, she's just such a great character. Like, top notch. She's fierce and isn't afraid to throw herself in these like really tough situations. But usually things that follows butts in this situation aren't great. I still don't think she beats out Nikolai in terms of my favorites. So see ya! You've been dropped, sis. Is anybody gonna take the throne from Nikolai? Next up, we've got Kath. She's from Fangirl. She's introverted. She's a writer. She's an anxious human. Basically, everything that I am, except I'm not a girl. I relate to her in so many ways, but again, I don't know that she reaches the level of Nikolai for me. Nikolai up here, she down here. So, see you later, girl. See you later. Next up, we've got Kel from A Darker Shade of Magic. Mr. Magical, parallel universe hopper. He's kind of a quiet person, but his actions speak volume. Oh, this is gonna be a make or break. I have come to appreciate Kel's character so much, especially after rereading A Darker Shade of Magic. Like, he's such a great character and I feel like he's so underrated. Mind you, I haven't read the rest of the trilogy because I'm the worst, but in that first book, he is solid. I think it's time that we drop Mr. Nikolai. I'm sorry. You stood your ground for a long time, but it's time to say goodbye. Next up, we've got Mare from Red Queen. I'm gonna drop her. I'm sorry. She does not compare to Kel at all. I didn't even get the chance to kind of introduce her character, but I'm sorry. Bye-bye. You're great, but you're not as great as Kel. I'm sorry if that hurt. Not that you can hear what I'm saying right now, but I'm sure it would if you did hear it. One more. Let's see if they can dethrone Kel. I choose you, Pikachu. Bodhi Linux from Faking Normal. What a random one to pick as the last one. He's basically like the epitome of a soft boy. And this is hard because I do see myself in certain aspects of Bodhi, but like, is that enough for him to win over Kel? I think not. So it's time to go, Bodhi. You were here for a short little while, but it's time to say goodbye. You've been dropped. So basically the king of my fictional kingdom is King Kel. That's it for this episode of Bookstorm. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. As always, I'm always open to new segments, so if you guys have any ideas for new segments that I can include in these episodes, let me know down below in the comments. Also, I want to play Save One, Drop One with you guys down below in the comments, so I'm going to pin a comment with a Save One, Drop One game for you guys to play. Reply to that comment letting me know who you ended up with. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye.